Why are you still here after everyone else walked away?
Because a queen should never have to stand alone.
Across the galaxy, the royal palace of the Orion Empire was more than a palace. It was the heart of an empire that ruled over thousands of star systems. Endless marble corridors stretched beneath glowing crystal domes, while elite royal guards stood motionless in polished armor, protecting the most powerful ruler alive. That ruler was Queen Seraphina. She possessed unmatched authority, unimaginable wealth, and the loyalty of billions. Yet every morning, she walked to the palace completely alone. The nobles respectfully stepped aside. The guards bowed from a distance. Even her closest advisors avoided standing near her for longer than necessary. The reason wasn't hatred. It was fear. For years, a mysterious rumor had spread across the galaxy. Anyone who became too close to the queen eventually disappeared without a trace. No investigation ever found an answer. No witness ever survived to explain what happened. Whether the stories were true or not no longer mattered. People believed them, and belief had turned into loneliness. On that same morning, a human Federation security officer arrived at the palace gates for his first assignment. His name was Lucas Kane. Unlike everyone else, he had never heard the rumors, and within the next few minutes, he would make a decision that the entire galaxy would remember forever. Lucas Kane followed a palace officer through the magnificent royal corridors, where priceless alien artwork, glowing crystal walls, and towering golden statues reflected the Empire's unimaginable power. As they walked, the officer suddenly stopped. He turned toward Lucas with a serious expression. One piece of advice, he said quietly, "Do your job, but never get close to the queen." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "And why is that?" The officer hesitated before answering. "Because every person who ever earned Queen Seraphina's trust either disappeared or was found dead under mysterious circumstances." Lucas looked at him for a moment, then gave a calm smile. "I don't believe rumors." The officer shook his head. They all said that. A few moments later, the enormous royal doors slowly opened. For the first time, Lucas saw Queen Seraphina standing alone before the galaxy's most magnificent throne. The entire throne hall fell silent, and without hesitation, Lucas walked straight toward her, while everyone else held their breath. The moment Lucas stopped before the throne, every royal guard tightened their grip on their weapons. The nobles exchanged nervous glances. No outsider had ever walked this close to Queen Seraphina without permission. The queen slowly turned to face him. Her emerald eyes studied the human in silence. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Seraphina broke the silence. "Do you know who I am?" Lucas nodded respectfully. "You're the queen. But before that, you're someone standing here alone." A faint look of surprise crossed her face. No one had ever answered her that way. Around the throne hall, whispers spread among the nobles. "He's finished." The queen will dismiss him. Instead, Seraphina took one slow step closer. She looked directly into Lucas's eyes. "Everyone who has sworn to protect me eventually abandoned me." Lucas didn't look away. His voice remained calm. "Then let me be the first who stays." For the first time in years, the queen smiled. It was small, but everyone in the throne hall saw it. At that exact moment, the palace alarm suddenly echoed to the entire kingdom. A cold mechanical voice announced, "Warning, an unidentified assassin has breached the royal palace." The palace instantly descended into chaos. Royal guards rushed toward the throne. Energy shields activated across every entrance. Queen Seraphina remained perfectly calm. Lucas stepped forward, positioning himself between the queen and the massive palace doors. The captain of the royal guard shouted, "Protect Her Majesty!" Dozens of elite guards surrounded the throne. Then, a deafening explosion shook the palace. The enormous golden doors were blasted open. Smoke poured into the throne hall. From the darkness, a single figure slowly emerged. He wore sleek black combat armor with glowing crimson lines. A long battle cloak flowed behind him. His face was hidden beneath a dark helmet with a glowing red visor. The hall fell completely silent. The assassin ignored every guard. His eyes locked only on Queen Seraphina. Then, he pointed his energy blade toward her. Your reign ends today. Several guards charged at once. In less than 3 seconds, they were all thrown across the throne hall. No one could stop him. No one, except Lucas. Without saying a word, the human stepped directly into the assassin's path. The assassin tilted his head, then spoke in a cold voice. "Move aside, human. This isn't your war." Lucas calmly met his gaze. "The moment you threatened her, it became mine." The assassin slowly lowered his energy blade, not because he was afraid, but because he recognized the man standing before him. His crimson visor scanned Lucas's face. A warning flashed across his helmet. Identity confirmed. Lucas Kane. The assassin froze. For the first time, there was hesitation in his voice. "It can't be. You were declared dead." Queen Seraphina looked at Lucas in confusion. "Dead?" Lucas sighed quietly. "That was a long time ago." The assassin activated a holographic military record. A blue projection appeared above the throne hall. It showed Lucas wearing an elite Human Federation combat uniform. The title beneath the image read, Commander Lucas Kane, Human Federation Special Operations. The royal court gasped. Even the Queen's advisor stepped back in disbelief. Seraphina looked at Lucas. "You never told anyone who you really were." Lucas kept his eyes on the assassin. "Because I left that life behind." The assassin slowly tightened his grip on the energy blade. "No. Legends never leave the battlefield." The throne hall became silent once again. Everyone realized the quiet human standing before the Queen was hiding a past that could shake the entire galaxy. The assassin slowly reached for his helmet. With a sharp metallic click, he removed it. The entire throne hall gasped. Queen Seraphina's eyes widened. General Varric, he had once been the Empire's greatest commander. Years ago, he disappeared during a classified mission beyond the edge of the galaxy. Everyone believed he had died. But now, he stood before the Queen as her greatest enemy. Varric looked directly at Lucas. 5 years ago, you destroyed my fleet and left me to die. Lucas's expression remained calm. I gave you a chance to surrender. You chose war. Varric's eyes burned with anger. And today, I'll finish what you started. Suddenly, the palace lights flickered. A massive holographic map appeared above the throne. Thousands of crimson dots surrounded the capital world. The Royal Guard commander stared in horror. Impossible. The palace is completely surrounded. Queen Seraphina looked at the map. Her voice became almost a whisper. An invasion fleet. Varric smiled. Not just a fleet. The largest armada the galaxy has ever seen. Lucas slowly stepped in front of the Queen once again. His eyes never left Varric. Then we'll make our stand. Right here. The throne hall fell into complete silence. Outside, thousands of enemy warships darkened the skies above the capital. Red warning lights flashed across the palace walls. Every officer waited for Queen Seraphina's command. Instead, she looked at Lucas. If the capital falls, billions of innocent lives will be lost. Lucas nodded. Then we make sure it doesn't fall. General Varric laughed. Still pretending one human can change history? Lucas calmly smiled. History has a habit of proving you wrong. Varric raised his hand. Instantly, hundreds of armored assault troops stormed into the throne hall through shattered windows and breached entrances. The royal guards charged to meet them. A fierce battle erupted. Blue plasma bolts and crimson energy blasts lit up the palace like a storm. Lucas grabbed a fallen energy blade. For years, he had sworn never to fight again. But today, there was no other choice. He turned toward Queen Seraphina. "Stay behind me." She looked at him with quiet determination. "No. Today, we fight together." For the first time, the lonely queen and the human protector stood side by side, ready to defend an empire. The throne hall became a battlefield. Royal guards fought desperately against wave after wave of enemy soldiers. Explosions shook the palace. Broken crystal pillars crashed to the floor. Lucas moved through the chaos with incredible precision. Every strike disarmed an enemy. Every move protected the queen. General Varric watched from the grand staircase. A cold smile appeared on his face. "You're wasting your strength. This battle was only a distraction." Lucas's eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" Varric activated a small holographic device. A hidden chamber deep beneath the palace appeared above his hand. At its center, a glowing golden crystal floated in the air. Queen Seraphina's face turned pale. "The royal heart." Lucas looked at her. "What is it?" She answered quietly. "It's the ancient core that powers every planetary shield in the Empire. If Varric captures it, the capital will be completely defenseless." At that moment, a violent explosion erupted beneath the throne hall. The entire floor trembled. Emergency alarms echoed through the palace. "Warning, the royal vault has been breached." Varric slowly turned and walked toward the secret passage. Before disappearing into darkness, he looked back at Lucas. "Come and stop me, if you still can." Lucas gripped his weapon tightly. Without another word, he and Queen Seraphina ran toward the underground vault. Neither of them realized the greatest secret of the Empire was waiting beneath the palace. Lucas and Queen Seraphina raced through the ancient underground corridors beneath the royal palace. The deeper they went, the older the walls became. Alien symbols, untouched for thousands of years, glowed with a faint golden light. Finally, they reached the royal vault. At its center floated the royal heart, a magnificent golden crystal pulsing with incredible energy. Its light illuminated the entire chamber. General Varric was already there. His hand rested only inches from the crystal. He smiled as Lucas arrived. "You're too late." Lucas stepped forward. "If you take the royal heart, millions will die." Varric laughed. "Empires deserve to fall." He reached for the crystal. Suddenly, the royal heart exploded with blinding golden light. The entire chamber shook violently. Ancient symbols awakened across the walls. A calm mechanical voice echoed through the vault. "Royal blood confirmed. Secondary guardian identified." Everyone froze. Queen Seraphina looked around in confusion. Lucas frowned. "Secondary guardian?" The light slowly moved, not toward the queen, but toward Lucas Kane. The entire vault fell silent. Even General Varric stared in disbelief. "Impossible. Why did it choose a human?" The golden light surrounded Lucas. For a brief moment, time itself seemed to stop. The royal heart hovered before him, as if it had been waiting for this moment for centuries. Queen Seraphina stepped closer. Her voice trembled. "Only members of the royal bloodline can awaken the royal heart. How is this possible?" Lucas stared at the glowing crystal. Fragments of forgotten memories flashed through his mind. A mysterious woman, an ancient battlefield, a promise he could never remember making. Then, the royal heart spoke. "Guardian protocol complete. The human guardian has returned." General Varric's face turned pale. He slowly lowered his weapon. "No!" The legends were true. Lucas gently placed his hand on the crystal. Instead of becoming a weapon, its light spread peacefully throughout the palace. Across the capital, the damaged planetary shields came back online. The enemy invasion fleet suddenly lost all power. One by one, their weapons shut down. Their engines failed. Without firing a single shot, the war was over. General Varric dropped to one knee, not in defeat, but in respect. Queen Seraphina looked at Lucas with a grateful smile. "You didn't just save my empire. You gave my people hope again." Lucas smiled quietly. Power protects kingdoms, but kindness is what makes them worth protecting. For the first time in many years, the Queen was no longer standing alone. And from that day forward, the galaxy would remember one truth. The greatest guardian the Empire had ever known was a human. The end.